General Hospital, Curtis exposes Nina in shocking Drew Fling scandal? General Hospital sees Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, Maydew Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, dirty and reveal her tawdry fling with Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, after just telling her sometimes you got to betray a friend. General Hospital spoilers, Curtis dilemma and potential betrayal. So, if you are current on your episodes this week, you know that Nina came to pitch Curtis on her doing a tell-all interview that would cast Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard, in a very bad light. And of course, Curtis assumed it was Drew blackmailing her into this. And Nina said, no, it's somebody else. She's being blackmailed by more than one person. Although Drew has been blackmailing Nina and Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, and Curtis. This time, of course, it's Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, doing her dirty and forcing Nina into a corner because she also knows that she was banging Drew. And it really surprised Curtis when Nina said Tracy had threatened to reveal her past affair with Drew. Now he knows about it, but he doesn't think it's widespread knowledge. And it kind of is, but kind of isn't. You know, Cody Bell, Josh Kelly knows he's sitting on it, but then again, he's being very ethical since he took that payoff from Drew, I guess. General Hospital spoilers, Nina and Curtis' friendship at risk. So Nina and Curtis both realize that the secrets they have are costing them a lot. And unless something changes, they're going to continue to be pushed around. And the problems all circle back to one person, Drew freaking Kane. He's the reason Curtis has to publish negative articles about Sonny and about Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, and why Nina has to target the ex-husband. She still loves Sonny. And even though Curtis isn't sure that his marriage is going to last, he still wants to get Portia out from under Drew's thumb if he can. So, I felt like it might be a bit of foreshadowing when Curtis told Nina, sometimes you need to betray a friend. And the friend Curtis betrays, well, it could be Nina. He might do it in the worst possible way. And Curtis may actually do something Nina would never forgive on General Hospital. Nina's secrets and Sonny's potential reaction. You know, Sonny actually took it pretty well that Nina did this interview, the exclusive tell-all from Sonny's ex-wife that trashed him. And then when he asked if there was more bad news coming, Nina had to tell Sonny, well, yeah, it's going to get worse. There's a part 2 about your mental health and what happens when you're off your meds. So Nina did tell Sonny a partial truth. She said that Tracy is blackmailing her because she wants to run Sonny out of town. And Nina says that the blackmail is about family. Sonny didn't ask a bunch of questions. But Nina obviously didn't tell Sonny this was about keeping an affair with Drew a secret because that might change Sonny's perspective and he might be understanding if he knew she was playing hide the salami with someone he hates. General Hospital spoilers, Nina's dirty secret closer to coming out. And even though Curtis and Nina are very close friends and have been for quite a while, I think that Curtis will absolutely prioritize his family over hers. He already told Nina they need a plan to disarm Drew. And of course, Nina would love that, but she told Curtis she's got no idea how to make that happen. Then Curtis had that little flashback to Nina talking about sleeping with Drew. And of course, Nina and Drew's affair continued up until the point he was falling for Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen. But once Drew slept with Willow, he didn't touch again. But that's just icky and the whole timeline is gross. Drew's manipulation and Curtis's potential plan to expose the affair. So I suspect Curtis may use Drew and Nina's sordid past against the congressman. All this dirty stuff Drew is doing to keep Willow in his life and convince her that only he can make her happy. You know, maybe Curtis thinks he can blow all that up. The thing is, if Drew got dumped and Willow was out of his life, probably the blackmail and dirty games would evaporate because Drew would have no reason to keep leveraging everyone. And so, I think Curtis' mindset is breaking up Willow and Drew would solve Curtis's problems. But if he exposes Nina's affair with Drew, you know, 100% Nina will wind up collateral damage. Willow would be furious with her mom, you know, not so much for sleeping with Drew before he got involved with Willow but keeping it hidden for so long. And Nina was still sleeping with him while she knew that Willow had this interest in him. So there's just a lot of overlap. General Hospital spoilers, Curtis may lose out. And I do think there's a pretty strong chance that Willow would forgive Drew. You know, maybe not. And I think it's the maybe not that Curtis is counting on too heavily because his plan could fail. Willow could absolutely forgive Drew and would dump Curtis as a friend. Now, she might lose Willow from her life, But I don't think that she would dump her fiancé and then Drew would keep on blackmailing Portia and Curtis. Nina would be probably out from under his thumb for the most part, though. Potential fallout and Lissel's return. I'm betting if Curtis does this, it'll backfire and Portia and Curtis and Nina would all be the big losers in the equation. I don't think Willow would want to even look at Nina again after knowing she was sleeping with Drew behind her back and on a regular basis. And then discouraged Willow from getting together with Drew and she's tried to talk her out of him a bunch. So there's just a lot of dishonesty there. And Willow may go back and question her mom's motives for doing this because Drew said he could just say Nina was jealous of Willow. There's a lot he could say. So, I think Nina Reeves' worst fear could come true soon and it might be one of her close friends who stabs her in the back and causes her to lose her daughter. But on the bright side, her Aunt Liesl Albrecht, Kathleen Gotti, just popped back up and told Nina she can see that her life is in shambles and Dr. O wanted to know how much of a mess she needs to clean up. And it's not too long until Liesl realizes that something has gone very wrong with Willow's life. Curtis's strategy and the impending wedding drama. Is, if Curtis decides to betray Nina and exposes her affair with Drew, how will he do it? Curtis probably can't just directly run the story in one of his publications, but he could give a tabloid tidbit on Nina and Drew to another outlet or to that local gossip columnist. Curtis could even give an interview where he's listed as an anonymous source close to the couple and it could be a scoop for some online website or something. It won't make Drew happy for the story to come out. But I also don't think he's overly worried even though he did pay off Cody because when Nina threatened in the past to tell Willow about them, Drew pushed back and said, "Go ahead, tell her. She'll forgive me but not you." And since Willow is so thoroughly gaslit by Drew and totally sucked in by him, I do think Willow wouldn't hold it against him. And on the plus side, if Curtis does this and betrays Nina, one of his oldest friends, at least Aunt Liesl will be there to hold her hand and dry Nina's tears because she would be absolutely humiliated, publicly outed. She would probably lose her daughter. And even if Curtis does this, I think it would knock Nina down but not knock her out. And she would probably double down on trying to expose Drew for this sleazebag he is. General Hospital spoilers, Drew's retaliation. As for Drew, if this story came out, I think he knows Nina wouldn't be the one behind it. And the question is, would he realize that Curtis did it? Because if it happens this way and Curtis outs Drew and Nina and then Drew finds out Curtis is behind it, I cannot imagine how bad it would get for Portia and her husband because Drew would go absolutely nuclear. Now, I really like Curtis and I hope he doesn't betray Nina, but with all the foreshadowing and frustrations and no way to stop Drew, I think Curtis might feel like he's got no choice. And if you remember, the big wedding is coming at the end of the month, and that would be the perfect time for that story to break, right as the wedding's about to happen, right? I think that would be amazing. Hospital 2-week spoilers, July 21st to August 1st, Willow's wedding chaos and Britt's mystery hunt. General Hospital 2-week spoilers for July 21st to August 1st, 2025. See Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen's wedding mess and the search for Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thiebaud. General Hospital spoilers, July 21st, BLQ's unexpected challenge and the Sonny vs. Sidwell conflict. Monday, July 21st, something takes Brooklyn Quartermain Amanda Seton off guard. It may be Gio Palmieri Giovanni Mazza, but this time instead of her wayward son, it may involve deception. Maybe something to do with the Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard vs. Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rota mess and the fact that Sonny's money he put into the company was partially dirty. Lucy Lynn Herring tells Brooklyn not to worry about it and says she has it handled. And don't forget, she is Team Sidwell. Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna gets Anna Devane's, Finola Hughes, wheels turning. Remember, Dante's watching Vaughn, Bryce Durfee, and that has him also watching Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, which he wasn't necessarily expecting. All on Anna's orders. She might begin to have a suspicion about Jocelyn's sudden and mysterious trip that Carly Corinthos Spencer Laura Wright mentioned. But I don't know if Anna would tell Dante she thinks Jocelyn might be an agent. Then again, maybe she would because he was a WSB operative at one point in the past. General Hospital spoilers, Joss is warned and Jason scrambles. Jocelyn gets a warning she doesn't like from Vaughn and it's about their boss. She's asking Vaughn if Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, can do whatever he wants and get away with it. This might be about Carly. Plus, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, is trying to buy a ticket, and they're closing the doors on the flight. He wants to speak to the Brit Westbourne, Kelly Thibault lookalike, but generally you can't get on a flight unless you have a ticket for the flight. So, it looks like she may get away without speaking to him. We'll see. Jason is reminiscing, and it probably is about his brief romance with Brit. Carly and Brennan talk about what is next. Looks like they are getting more and more serious. Of course, when Carly finds out he recruited Jocelyn, and they've been lying to her for months, it's probably not going to go over well. Brennan shows up to the Metro Court pool. There's champagne and some romance as they drink and soak their tootsies. July 22nd spoilers, Martin's news, Lucas worries, and the kidnapping of Marco. On Tuesday, July 22nd, Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight has news for Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, and hopefully, this Drew Kane Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, ketamine thing is settled, but you never know. Or it could be a different scheme that Martin is cooking. Plus, Lucas Jones Van Hansis opens up to somebody. Of course, he remains worried about Marco Rios, Adrian and Chando. He's worried that his boyfriend won't survive this kidnapping that he's certain Sonny did, which we know he did. Marco is now tied up where he was just locked into a room because he made a valiant escape attempt. Sidwell has an announcement, and I wonder if he is going to publicly back off the piers like Sonny wants or publicly accuse Sonny of abducting his son Marco. Maybe he just tells the mayor because Laura Spencer, Jeannie Francis rattled on Tuesday and may find out from Sidwell or from Lucas that Marco is kidnapped. Dr. Isaiah Gannon, Sandy Wilson, encourages Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, to fight and not give up. We'll see how much she tells him. Willow's dark turn and wedding drama, July 23rd to July 25th General Hospital spoilers. On Wednesday, July 23rd, Willow Tate's Caitlin McMullen behavior shocks everybody. Let's face it, Drew is turning Willow dark. Liesl Albrecht, Kathleen Gotti called it out when Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, was talking about how it's sad for Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, that he's lost Daisy. Willow smirked. I went back to the end of the episode and I froze it to look at her face, and for sure she was just like, I haha. Because Michael has taken her kids away, so she feels like this is karma and she knows it was her doing. So she really likes it. Drew and Willow wedding starts at the end of this week, and there are going to be fireworks. This is going to be not to miss. If you have to miss an episode, don't let it be Friday. Spoilers, Nina desperate and Portia. Also on Wednesday, Nina needs to talk to Drew. She may be making one final plea to get him to let Willow go. And of course, she and Liesl are plotting on that front. Portia confesses something. I wonder if she is going to admit what she did to Isaiah or to somebody else that might be able to help her. Also, Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, and Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, panic after they find out something. It may be that their son Rocco Falceroni, Finn Francis Carr, met with Liesl, Brit's mom. You know, Lulu is not going to like that at all. Jason is on a mission. Looks like he is determined to find this Brit lookalike, find out who she is, why he ran into her. She was heading to Croatia. That's the last thing we heard. General Hospital spoilers, Thursday 24th, Trina won't budge and Nina takes action. On Thursday, July 24th, Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn gets brutally honest with Drew. Could be about his antics. Could be about marrying Willow. I think that might be what it is and how it will affect Scout Kane, Cosette Abinante, who's going to be getting Willow as a stepmom when, you know, in October it'll have been a year that she lost her mom Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco on General Hospital. Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali remains firm on something, probably about breaking up with Kai Taylor, Jens Austin Astrup. Nina knows what must be done and that she has to take action. I wonder if she has decided to tell Willow that she was shagging Drew. Willow has a talk with Scout before the wedding. At least she won't be an evil stepmom, just an evil ex-wife. Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, and Albrecht have a talk. If you remember, they're close because of their mutual love and affection for her now-dead husband, Franco, last played by Roger Howarth. General Hospital spoilers, July 25th, Lucas and Carly battle and Nina plots. On Friday, July 25th, Ava Jerome, Maura West, is completely shaken, and Lucy issues an invitation to someone. I wonder if she's going to bring Sidwell to the wedding because, you know, Lucy is a realtor. She's close to everybody in town, so maybe she scored an invite because Nina is throwing a big shindig. Brooke Lynn and Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, look very tense talking at the Metro Court pool this week. Lucas and Carly bicker. I'm sure it's about Sonny abducting Marco. Carly may tell Lucas that Sidwell's to blame, not Sonny. That's debatable. Michael opens up to Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey. Could be about losing Daisy and watching Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson go. Could be about Willow marrying Drew and being so lost and messed up and not the woman he once loved. Drew and Willow Tate's wedding turns chaotic on Friday. Yay! I'm super excited to see that. Nina has planned it all, but will she also plan to ruin it as a last-ditch chance to break up Willow and Drew? General Hospital spoilers, July 28th to August 1st, wedding fallout, kidnapping crisis, and new characters. From July 28th through August, Willow and Drew's wedding may carry over into the following week. There's sure to be fallout from what happens. Will we see Willow and Drew actually say, "I do, I?" Or will his enemies conspire to ruin their big day and make sure they never get married? Both Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, and Nina are considering drastic action. So, Drew and Nina's fling may become public at the nuptials. Portia may crash and act out. There are so many possibilities. Michael struggles with losing Daisy and knowing that Willow Tate is about to marry this awful man, his uncle, Drew, who ruined his marriage. Willow is completely unapologetic about all of it. Plus, Drew is planning more terrible things for Michael. Let's be very clear on that. General Hospital spoilers, Nina schemes with Liesl and Tristan Rogers' sad announcement. Nina and Liesl plot to shake some sense into Willow, but the bottom line is it may be too late. She seems so thoroughly gaslit by Drew. I completely blame this on Willow growing up in a cult rather. I feel like she's just been weak-minded from the get-go. So it was pretty easy for Drew to take control of her. Lucas is absolutely distraught and wondering how long until Marco's free, and will he be free at all? Will he come out of this Sonny kidnapping unscathed? Trina Robinson again reiterates she will not change her mind on Kai, who himself remains certain that he did the right thing and had to reveal the truth. And of course, Kelly Thiebaud is officially back, but we don't know who she's playing. We just know she's getting on a flight to Croatia for some reason. Tristan Rogers, Robert Scorpio, and Sophia Matson are out as Robert Scorpio and Sasha Gilmore, and Tristan confirmed that he is struggling with cancer.